Welcome to the department chat. Today we have our first guest, Meg Caton. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Maybe against her will, I'm not too sure.
Slightly, but that's okay. All in good fun.
Let's start with human resources and maybe your history with how you got here.
So when I was at Salisbury University, my major was communications and my track was actually human resources. Funny enough, I never thought I'd actually do anything with it, but here I am many years later. I graduated in 2006 and was hired at the local hospital here in town in human resources. Worked in human resources for 11 years, doing many different job duties, but was able to really lay the foundation for my career in human resources. And after 11 years, I decided I needed a break, so I transitioned over to fundraising. And after 5 years in fundraising, I decided I was ready to go back to human resources, and that's how I ended up here.
Realize fundraising is actually not much fun.
No, it is very challenging, just as much as human resources.
Sure, I'm sure, but at least human resources is very diverse.
Yes, absolutely.
Since you came back to human resources, what is your favorite aspect of the job? Maybe you have two?
It's helping people. It's seeing people succeed and grow in their abilities. Sometimes employees don't see the big picture, so it's supporting them and helping them achieve their goals.
What do you think the hardest part of human resources is, and what do you wish people knew?
The hardest part is getting people to understand human resources is not just for the employer. We're very much for the employee. We do want to see the employee succeed. If they're having issues, we want them to reach out to us because we want to be able to support them. If there's an issue in their department, and for instance, their department is in the wrong, I'm going to say that, and I'm going to help the employee while also educating the department how to make a better decision.
Sure. How do you think we bridge that gap? Obviously, we're talking about it today, but how do employees come to us? How do we make them feel like they can?
I think it's building rapport with them. It's getting out. It's knowing their names, knowing what their job duties are, supporting them, just taking the time to say, hello, how's your day going?
Sure. That basic one-on-one connection.
Yes, absolutely.
What is something about our department maybe that you're super proud of? I know we're probably very different than the local hospital and however their HR department ran, but what do you think sets us apart?
We're small, but we're mighty. There are 5 of us in human resources, but we all work well together. We all play off of each other's skills and abilities. We support one another, and we try to maybe, I don't know if this is the right term, pick up the slack, but if somebody's having an off day, one of us will go and support that person and help them get through the day.
To provide some history for the listeners, the Human Resources Department was 3 people not long ago. It was an administrative assistant, a director, and maybe a coordinator. I think the name's changed a few times. Now we have a team of 5, training and development, director, risk management, benefits, but now we have recruitment. That is almost a year old. We're almost there. What has that brought the city?
I think having a recruiter has really helped streamline our hiring process. Even when I first came on board here almost 4 years ago, a lot of things with recruitment were handled internally within the departments. So not everything was being handled the exact same way. The processes were different for different departments. So having a recruiter has really helped us streamline and have consistent processes. Having a recruiter has also really helped the departments not have to do as much work going through the applications, contacting people, setting up times to have conversations or interviews. Having a recruiter has very much made that easier and more manageable, not just for human resources, but for the hiring departments as well.
Have to agree because in HR, previously we all kind of had
Yeah.
pieces of the pie, and we're super fortunate to have
Yes.
Kelly Jones. If you haven't met her in our department, she'll be making the year mark in December.
Yep.
So if you have any recruitment questions, concerns, you can reach out to Miss
Yeah.
Kelly Jones. Since we do have basically two new positions, training development and recruitment, and we're still kind of finding our way. If you had a wish list and you could bring something or a position or an idea to our department, what would it be?
I think it would really benefit to have someone in specifically in employee relations. Employee relations isn't a bad thing. A lot of times people hear employee relations and they're like, oh, that's not good. That's not the case. An employee relations person, again, they're an advocate for not only the employee, but for the employer, and they help guide departments and employees if there's a difficulty that's going on.
Sure. So what does that look like now when there is employee relations? Like, can you break it down on how it does affect our department?
Sure. So a lot of the times it comes to me, and unfortunately, I'm rather busy. So I do rely heavily on you actually to assist me with employee relations. But you have, out of everyone in the human resources department, you've worked here the longest. So you have good rapport and relationships with employees, and they feel that they can come to you and talk to you. And that's, I think, also been beneficial with your training and development as
Sure.
well.
Sometimes it does. I definitely can wear those two hats because
Yes.
sometimes it is just finding, what can we give an employee to help them succeed? What type of conversation can we have? But I would second that. Employee relations personnel would be great. Although I can say that it's been a joy to learn that. In HR, you have to wear many hats.
Oh, absolutely.
And we are a small, local city, so we don't have the budget or the need really to have a 15 personnel
Correct.
HR department. So I would have to agree.
Yes.
If I were to ask you to make a call to action today for our city staff, what would you give them?
It would be to utilize human resources. If you have a concern, if you have a question, you can always reach out to us. Um, Always go to your direct supervisor first. We are big on following chain of command. And if you feel at that point you're not getting your needs met, that's when you come to us. And we're more than happy to sit down, have a conversation, and figure out a way to help mediate whatever it is that's going on, and just be supportive of the employees.
Hmm. Well, thank you for coming today and getting out of your comfort zone.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for listening today. And if you like this podcast and the idea, please let us know. We would love to hear what you would like to hear, what training and development topics you may like to learn about on here, or maybe you want to sit and be my guest. Have a good day.